the one thing that we're an animal, but we're also the next stage of animals where we're aware of who we are and we contemplate our existence. And when you contemplate your existence and you're an intelligent life form, you should always be seeking to improve. If you're always seeking to improve, the thing that you look at is like, what has brought me the most positive results? So it's kindness, friendship, the connection with human beings on a very positive level where you like build up like a trust, and you have warmth and friendship, and you root for each other, and you share in each other's bounty, and you build together. You know, that we all know inherently in our heads that kindness is like one of the best gifts you can bestow another human being, whether it's giving them food when they don't have any, or helping them out, or hooking them up, or doing something to help them, or being around them and complimenting them, whatever the fuck it is. We know that inherently that feels great, and we know it. We know that that's the next. We have to figure out how to use our resources together so that we can be like that all the time. I think it's always about doing what you actually want to be doing with your life, as far as if you have an inner creative expression to get out. And there's a lot of people that always wanted to be singers, and they just, for whatever reason, never pursued it. Yeah. So they just sing around their house, and they always wonder what could have been if they just tried to be a singer. That's one form of that could bum you out. That's one form of a roadblock in your life. The depressed feeling that you didn't try to reach your potential. You didn't go after what is intriguing to you. Like, we all have almost like a beacon that pulls us in a certain direction. For some people it's nursing, some people it's construction and architecture. Being a parent for some people. For us it was stand-up. You know, it's really simple. Yeah. And it's like there's something, the happiness that's involved in pursuing your inherent desires is unavoidable. I mean, it's not. It's unappreciated. It's underappreciated. People think, well, all you have to do is find a career. Yes, all you have to do is find a career. But I guarantee you there's one out there that you really, really want to do.
Yeah, the key
Unless
is...
it's just like, I want to be famous. Then you're an asshole.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The key is that, you know, we're in Hollywood, and I see a lot of misdirected what you're saying. You see people that think that being famous is going to bring them happiness, which you certainly have more experience with fame than I do, but you probably would say that it is... marginally helps you be happier with giving you maybe some possibilities, but it does not deliver you happiness.
It's a managed form of madness, because the whole world has changed, and now everywhere you go, people, you know, will know who you are, but you won't know who they are. You know, and when you start becoming famous, it's like 1 out of 100. You know, then it becomes 1 out of 10. Or 1 out of 3. When you're Tom Cruise, it's everybody. Yeah. You know, I'm not everybody, but it's enough so that it's weird. Yeah. It's enough so that your reality shifts, and then everywhere you go, and people have their own. Also, they have predetermined perceptions of you based on your work. Yeah. You know, whether they get, or something they read that you said, or somebody who met you, and you know, oh, he was a
well.
dick.
And what always strikes me as kind of creepy is that if they recognize you, you're going to see their best side. Most likely, you know, there's the freaks, but most likely they're going to say, look, I'm meeting Joe Rogan. I'm going to tell my friends about this. I want to have as deep of a connection as quickly as possible as I can. So you're getting all this energy focused on you constantly. I just saw it when we played pool. I mean, 5 or 6 different people came up to you and wanted pictures. And the thing is you're not necessarily, once you get over the novelty of, hey, people recognize me, you're really giving. You're just giving people something, unless just
you can, being nice.
Yeah, you know, you're being nice, which is, but for them, it's like
a positive little experience.
I like that when I meet somebody, I'm going to know if they're a douche or not, because if they don't know me, then I'm going to see who they really are. But if they recognize me, then it's going to be, I'm not going to see this person.
It's true.
They may talk shit behind my back or whatever, but when I see them, they're going to have a little bit of an agenda to be nicer or try to form more of a relationship than they would have otherwise. And that's confusing. That really throws you off.
It can if you're not an analytical person. Look, I think the most difficult person to figure out always is ourselves. And I think most people, at least, don't have nearly enough inner dialogue where they sit themselves down and go over all the different shit that they're thinking and doing and behave, you know, how they're. And most people don't understand their own mind. And if you block shit in your life, if you, it's like I've seen it so many times with guys that are in the closet that are gay, and they become like huge boozers, and they're just blocking out this part of their brain because they're living their life in this like tortured state. Yeah, you know, I think that's a big issue for people.
No, Kevin Meaney, who's a dear friend of mine, it was like a mentor for me coming up and stand up, and he came out of the closet. I want to say he was close to 50 with a kid. And the guy had a drinking problem. He
Yep.
was overweight.
Yeah.
And then he came out of the closet. He's fucking trim. He's happy. He's got new material. And I mean, I just saw this load come off his, excuse the pun, the load come off his shoulders and onto his face.
Yeah. I think you know yourself better when you don't have secrets, when you don't have bullshit in your head, when you don't have problems.
What was
And
your biggest secret that came out in adulthood for you? Because you changed.
That's a good question.
Well,
You're somebody that, let me just preface it by saying this.
Okay.
You're somebody who I think really significantly changed in the time I've known you, and not in a bad way. You went from being a guy, you never touched marijuana, drinking, nothing. And you were hardcore, you were confrontational, and in an honest way. It's what made you a good comedian early, is you took shit straight on, and you didn't back off. And but you were always curious. And I saw the curious side of you kind of expand as you got older, and then I saw you expand your mind with, you know, different methods, and yet it's like you're still you, but people don't really change usually in life, and it seems like something happened to you at a certain point, like you had an epiphany or something.
Well, one thing is I got an isolation tank. And the isolation tank, there's never been a bigger tool for me in terms of like personal development than the tank. Because, you know, the tank is you completely alone, only with your thoughts. And there's no way to distract yourself with activities, with chronic masturbation, with fucking watching TV shows when you're flipping through channels late at night when you really should be sleeping. There's no way to distract yourself from your innermost thoughts when you're in there. There's nothing there but you. You don't even get your body in there because your body's in the warm water. It doesn't feel the water after a while. There's so much salt, you're floating. So in that environment, you're forced to take a lot of your ideas head on, and like, is this a correct thought? Did I do the right thing here? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Let's examine this, you know. And as you look at things objectively, it's like you're sort of forced to grow. And in that environment, the environment of the tank, which is just another form of a psychedelic experience. It's a psychedelic experience that is natural. It could be done while you're stone cold sober. You just climb on in, and within, you know, if you've done it for a while, within an hour, you're in a psychedelic state. You're in some crazy hallucinogenic dream state.
So what was the truth that you
Over
think
and
that
over
came
again.
out?
Well, a lot of my anger had to do with the way I was raised. I hadn't seen my father since I was like 7 years old, and I always thought that didn't fuck with me. But then as I got older, I really truly realized it fucked with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really kind of understand it until I had a few psychedelic experiences and kind of like looked at the source of, you know, a lot of angst and a lot of like anger that I would have. Like, I would be a guy who would try to be nice to everybody, but I was already on a trigger. So if something happened, you know, where someone did something rude, I would over-escalate almost immediately. I would be ready to take them to fucking full-on war. Immediately.